but we're going to get this going the correct way. And let's go ahead and get started tonight. Here we go. Mobb Deep versus M.O.P. I had to set it off with the most obvious. Let's talk about the two bangers, two classics. We get copyright claims all the time on this fucking thing, so let's go ahead and just not play these obvious songs because they're so famous. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. Yeah, so you know we were gonna talk about it. You know that these are the joints that everybody talks about most of the time. Let's go ahead and talk about Mobb Deep. Ironically, both songs that I'm about to mention right now have two versions. We are about to talk about the second version of each. We are talking about Mobb Deep's Shook Ones Part 2 versus M.O.P. Ante Up, the remix.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The legendary Busta Rhymes, the beautiful and talented Remy Ma, and the M.O.P. What we call it? Infantry Army, sniper Teflon. So it's only right. Again, I would love to play them, but if you don't know these records and you're tuning in, if you don't know Ante Up remix versus Shook Ones Part 2, you're on the wrong channel. Let's be clear. Let's go ahead and go around the room. Who had the better, biggest record?
Well, I'm gonna, and I'm glad you didn't play them because M.O.P. pops eardrums, and I didn't feel like my eardrums getting bust so early.
In the beginning, pause. Just the screaming alone.
So, with that said, I'm going with the infamous Mobb Deep. Rest in peace to Prodigy.
Oh,
bars, heavy bars, much better MCs than M.O.P. I said what I said.
Wow, the shade, the shade.
Just so we're clear, for those watching at home, for those watching at home, we're specifically talking about these two records. You know what I'm saying? So, it includes everybody on them, but it's all right. Hobo made his stand. It's the hill he wants to stand on, and we respect that. Plant your flag.
Remy and Busta couldn't save them. It's still.
Somebody come fuck this fool. Yeah. Somebody come fuck this fool right now.
Wow.
This fool. Who wants to maybe argue their point, or does somebody want to go ahead and put on the water and agree? Who do you got?
DJ Phantom agrees with me.
Yeah, DJ Phantom, we got a link for you right here. Anytime you want to get on board and jump on stage with us, speak your mind, God. We'd love to hear you on here. And I mean that. Let me know. Tell us in the chat room if you want the link. We'll send it out. Mastermind, right there. Mastermind, what were you saying there?
Shook Ones Part 2, definitely.
You Shook Ones Part 2. Oh, you quick to slide.
Definitely, yeah.
And my man's even voted for M.O.P.
No, I voted for Mobb Deep.
I'm confused.
Oh, Jules, you got it wrong. He voted for Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
What do you mean? No, right now you voted for Mobb Deep.
No, I voted for Mobb Deep.
You didn't vote for
M.O.P. Deep.
Oh shit! I thought you said Mobb Deep.
Oh, this game is rigged.
He hit you with the Kaiser Soze. He hit you with the Kaiser Soze.
He did. You know what? That was DJ Scan. He made it sound one way, and then he went another way. It's ridiculous.
That's cool. That's all good.
Insane. Listen, real quick, before we continue on with the game, want to introduce my man, the Good Reverend Doctor. Shout out to Good Rev. What's good, Good Rev?
What's up?
Yo.
Before I hit you with the first round question, I wanted to ask you the overall question. Just off the bat, we're setting up teams. Mobb Deep versus M.O.P. Who do you got?
Come on, man.
I just get speak your mind, God.
The Queens Boys.
The Queens Boys. There you go.
Queens Boys.
Boys from Queens.
The first question that I would pose to the room tonight was, who would win in a fight, M.O.P. or Mobb Deep? No, I'm just like. Who do you believe more?
First.
Shook Ones Part 2 versus Ante Up, the remix. Good Reverend Doctor, who do you got?
Wait, who do I have or who do I believe more? You just asked me two questions.
No, yeah. Those were jokes. I should have made that because those were jokes. The first actual round question, the first that you jumped on just on time, pause. First question for the room, so far two people have answered, was Shook Ones Part 2 versus Ante Up, the remix. Who do you got?
I'm going Shook Ones.
Shook Ones Part, is there a specific reason? Is it iconic to you? Were you rhyming over it when you was younger? What's going on?
I mean, I think it's a better song. And
period.
That's kind of it.
Fair enough. Good Rev with the vote down. Let's put that down.
I mean, the beat, and it's the beat also. That's what, because it's such a big difference between
Iconic.
Shook One's Part One and this, and how he got that Herbie Hancock shit to sound like that is still baffles me. And
Right.
I go, yeah, I'm going with that.
Chop,
Yeah.
chop.
I
Well,
didn't even know that was
Mobb
Herbie
Deep.
I didn't even know that.
check this out. Does anybody feel any differently? That's my question for you. Is anybody voting M.O.P at all, or is it safe to say this whole round? Because I mean, I'm getting vibes, but I want to make sure I'm checking the room's vibes. Does anybody have M.O.P for one?
Nah, we all in the same pond.
Nah,
we all got
I think
Mobb
yeah. I think
Fair
it's
enough.
Mobb Deep.
I'm writing it down. Ike Infamous, Triple C,
Yo,
who's like Cool Breeze.
the chat room is also decidedly Mobb Deep.
Wow, no Annie up.
Malcontent said this shit is like Khaleesi's catalog versus Beyonce's. Keeping it relevant. Malcontent, see what you did there.
M.O.P is dope. M.O.P is dope.
Yeah,
M.O.P is
dope.
super dope.
You know what it is?
Gonna play stuff for
you know what it is. I think
Are you serious right now? Are you trying to tell me this doesn't make the fucking crowd go nuts? The room go crazy?
it does.
Sure
It
does.
absolutely does. But it depends.
What's the rhymes now? M.O.P now. What you want now? What you want? What you want now? They can't mute me for that. They can't copyright.
Yeah, but you can hype it all you want, but it's not gonna be Shook Ones.
It don't matter.
Fair enough. Like I said, I just posed the question to the room. I had no choice but to go along.
Shook Ones is just too
No.
iconic. Man.
I actually like Shook
It's
Ones.
such a feeling. man.
I don't think the Annie Up remix does that much for the original. You know what I mean? Me personally.
Really? I barely hear the original anymore. I think that's why the remix gets so much like love.
No, the remix feels more party. The original feels like you're really gonna get shook. You're really gonna get stuck up.
I agree.
So
It's on the
the
remix
remix-
when I first heard it.
I was gonna,
What up?
Right.
I was gonna pose a question to all of you guys. Just from you asking that question, Jules, which song do you think more people got robbed at the tunnel to?
Right.
I still think Annie Up.
I think Annie Up.
I think Annie Up.
You're trying to say that. I was like, yeah, I kind of feel Annie Up in this particular.
I think Annie Up. I think more fights got started off of Shook Ones.
Okay, okay.
Probably.
You know what?
The jukes went down off of Annie Up.
You know what I can add on to
Instantly.
You know what I can add on to what just DJ Hope said? I think Shook Ones comes on, it gets you in the mood to want to rob somebody. Feeling of the trigger, like you cocked it back for Shook Ones, but
You know you're gonna fight. You know you're gonna fight with Shook Ones.
you're gonna fight when Annie Up's like, be ready now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
Annie Up is a different move.
it's an animal, but
It's happening right now. It's happening right now.
Look, it's an animal to track, but it's not the animal to take down Shook Ones Part 2. So rounding off and wrapping up round number 1, we decided to put Mobb Deep, Shook Ones Part 2 against M.O.P's legendary Annie Up remix, and it's a whole room siding one way. The room's tilted. Let it be known, Shook Ones Part 2 takes this one by a landslide. Mobb Deep on the board, 1-0. It's easy to say that this is going to go one way, but you never know. Pay attention. This is how the game goes. We do it live on Twitch every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. Follow, like, make sure you subscribe. Hit us up on YouTube. New videos dropping every week.